All right, so we got Shai Rose in the building. What's up? I appreciate you pulling up
What's
as
up, bro?
always. So,
Thank you.
for sure. So like, obviously, just to start off, let's talk about you, your music, your background, influence, everything. Where did you grow up, and like, how did DC influence your music?
I grew up in Southeast DC, specifically around a neighborhood called Parkland. Born and raised. My childhood was adventurous. I feel like most kids, fire hydrants, swings, playgrounds, been in the creek, getting cussed out. Um, what was the second part of the question?
I was just like, how do you feel like it like influenced you as an artist?
I mean, I guess the things I experienced, the things that I seen, a lot of my childhood struggles, a lot of my peers, childhood struggles. I kind of put that into my music.
So like, what gave you like the music bug? Like, what influenced you to want to, become an artist?
Well, I've always had a passion for writing. That's like one of my favorite things to do. It started off with like poetry and things of that nature. But then when I was like 14, how old was I? 14. I was like 14 years old. There was this um group of girls, and they like started some like little rap disses, and then me and my then me and my cousins started rap dissing them, and then it became like, dang, I actually can put stuff together. So I kind of stuck with it. But I didn't record my very first like real song till like 19 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, that's called Take Off, and it's only on SoundCloud.
So what went into the process of making that first song?
Getting out of jitters. Like when I first started, like I used to be really self conscious about like ad libs, cause just been sounded stupid, crazy. Like, but I don't know. My engineer KB, he kind of coached me through that, helped me get out my comfort zone. Also, a gentleman named KQ. Like I started recording more consistently. And, you know what I'm saying? It just kind of broke me in.
When did you like feel like you was at a point where you wanted to like seriously pursue doing music?
I always, after my first song, I always did, but life happens. So I hit my few little roadblocks that kind of set me back, but I always found my way back to it.
What was like some of the challenges you went through?
Like regular life stuff, like getting into relationships, putting my relationship before, my dreams and my personal goals, or motherhood, having kids, making that sacrifice to be, present with my children, working and stuff like that.
How is being a mom and like being in relationships? How does that like interfere, if it does at all, like with your musical career?
I'm gonna touch on the mom thing first. So the mom thing, it really doesn't impact my music ability at this point. Now that my kids are older, I'm more seasoned in motherhood. I know how to navigate around that. And they're my biggest drive. Like January 2024 this year, it's coming soon, and I made my first like Instagram freestyle that I hadn't rapped in a little minute, and I said my sons got to eat off this, so um, they're my drive behind it. And then as far as what was the other part of the question?
Like being in relationships or anything?
Relationship. Ugh, that impacts me. I feel like negatively most times because I always get so consumed into my person. Like, it's easy to just sometimes lose your identity when you become like kind of codependent. And codependency can be healthy, it can be unhealthy, but I always find myself in unhealthy codependency. Like the person don't want me to go to the studio. They want to be with each other at all times, kind of thing. So, yeah.
How does it, I guess, like, do you have to develop that sense of my career comes first when it comes to like situations like that?
Now, like after my last situation, I definitely feel like I know my boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you want the love that you never received, that you willing to just take what you get sometimes. But nah, like now I'm definitely, I don't know. I'm not going for that. Like this is my priority. Like this is what I want to eat off of. I want to do this every day of my life. It's my passion, and it comes. It's up there with my kids and God. Yeah.
So like, what is the difference, or how has your sound like changed from like when you was 19 till today?
I want. Guess I found my voice because I feel like if you were to play my first song, it's so cringy. Like I had a real squeaky voice. Just real. I wasn't mature like in the studio. You could kind of hear like Or I struggle to catch my breaths, to, you know what I'm saying, going to the next verse, the next word. But now I got a lot of confidence. I sound like I know what I'm doing. Um, I record effortlessly, you know. So.
How do you get to that point? Like, is it like, do you get like feedback from like your peers, or just, you know, like over time you start to kind of try different things to eventually get to the sound that you like?
It's a combination of both. I'm very receptive to constructive criticism, although I never really got much. But I love that. I hate going to the studios where the engineer just sitting there, just, you know what I'm saying, no engagement, no feedback. You know what I'm saying. I like creative direction, um, in the studio setting, so I'm always open to input, even if I don't apply. You know what I'm saying. Maybe the next song, like, oh, I could kind of see what this person was talking about. So.
Who was some of your musical influences growing up?
It's probably gonna sound like a cliche, but Tupac, yes. Look, I'm about to be a Bama songwriter. But yes, Tupac as far as rap, my dad was a big Bone Thugs and Harmony guy. Jada Kiss, the Game, that old 50 type shit.
So you started, putting out songs, you said when you was 19, and this year, or you had just recently put out your newest EP.
Yeah, okay, Zach, I like this. Hold on, I like this.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we gotta talk about the title first.
Oh, hold on. I wasn't ready. Hold on. Diane, can you get this? Can my manager grab this? I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
This is funny.
Yeah, you good. Go ahead.
Girl, shit, my manager don't want me recorded. Hold on, y'all. This the cool shit, the mic. Yeah, you gotta get close reach. You can still hear me, Zach?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. You don't gotta edit everything out. I like showing my raw personality.
No,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
So yeah, so what's up with this title from Forever the Fuck You? How that come about?
Okay. Let me calm down. So, from Forever to Fuck You is basically closure that I provided to myself from my last situation. My youngest son, his dad and I were engaged. I called up the engagement January 1st of this year, 2024, um, for reasons that, if you ask me, I may disclose, but if not, I will not disclose that. That basically came from, like, we were engaged. I thought I was gonna spend the rest of my life with him, and how shit ended is definitely heavy on the. Can I put my middle fingers up on here? Oh yeah, it's heavy on that.
So like, what was the reason?
um, well, I found out that he was a cokehead. He was abusive throughout the whole relationship, but I mean, for my own personal flaws, that's something that I stayed through, even though I should have been left. And then I found out he was cheating. Like, I don't play that cheating shit, so I had to go.
So I don't know if I was just assuming because I listen and I really fuck with Right Back. That's
Oh
like
my
yeah.
God, Zach, you about to make me cry. Hold on. Don't make me cry, Zach. Don't you please tell him I'm a cry, baby. Don't make me cry.
But
That's my
nah,
favorite
yeah,
too.
like I really fuck with that. So like, was he like inspiration behind that song?
The whole EP is, every song is, it's like kind of like a transition to different spaces I was when we were like at our lowest points and after we parted ways. Yeah, so Right Back is more so like when I was still in it. You know what I'm saying? You could kind of hear like how he was treating me, the things I was enduring, the mental space it put me in. So yeah.
So what was the deal with them voicemails at the
Oh
beginning?
my God! Hey, my manager said, I wonder if he was thorough and did his research. And then I said, he looked thorough. He looked like he actually did some research.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's crazy. I wish you go play that, y'all, because he asked us some good questions. Um, well, those are actually voice texts that I had sent him. Um, yeah, so I was like, it was I can't recall the exact night, but one night he didn't come home. We were kind of like back and forth, like arguing. He would always make arguments at this point. For a reason now I know why. But yeah, he didn't come home. I'm calling, he answering. We were on the phone. Somehow the phone just ended up disconnecting. And that was it for the night. You know what I'm saying? He tried to tell me he was sleeping. He's at his grandmother's house, and that voice text was me. You know what I'm saying? I knew what it was. So that was me just expressing to him like at the end of the day, I know you're gonna regret this. Whatever you're doing, you think it's sweet. You know what I'm saying? You could clearly hear I was hurt. That was some real pain in that voice. But yeah.
I was saying, like, I told a couple people that it kind of like gave me like, you know, the Queen Naja like medicine vibes.
Yeah.
So
I see
like,
that.
what with like when you was coming up with that, like, I guess what do you want people to like take away from that song?
Whew. Um, I guess to try to like redirect the narrative of necessarily. It's easy to feel consumed in like sadness or like you a victim, but just to like own it, like, you may have did this to me, but at the end, it's your loss. You know what I'm saying? So I want people to realize that the things that you do really affect people that genuinely love you. You know what I'm saying? And you can tighten up. Yeah, to the men, that's really what it is. Men, tighten up. You don't do that to women who love you, who good to you. That's crazy. Yeah.
So can you like explain like the significant or the meaning of like the album cover? Because it's got you know, in black, like you mourning, and then you in white too. So like, what's like the meaning behind the album cover?
I like you. Okay, so um, of course, like I said, I thought I was gonna spend the rest of my life with him. It's called From Forever to Fuck You. So the version of me when I'm in the wedding dress, to that's symbolic of me thinking that I was gonna be your wife, be together forever. And then the black version of me when I'm sitting down on my knees, holding the roses, looking down, like you said, it's I guess mourning the end of a relationship, the end of a love. So yeah.
What was like the creative process of that whole album like?
It was all over the place. Like I had like some sessions I was really bawling, crying. Luckily, my engineer, like I told you, my first song I recorded when I was 19, he's still my engineer, and I'm 28 years old now. But it was a lot of like crying, a lot of deep diving, pushing through. I had some moments when I just was like, all right, I wish I would have never started this. I'm tired of talking about this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want this behind me, but got through it now. So yeah, I feel much better.
What's the feeling you get after you finish the project and then put it out? What type of like satisfying feeling do you get?
I felt like Biggie on the movie when they when start playing Sky's the Limit, and
Yeah,
he was like,
I'm the
"I did
greatest.
it."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I felt like. Exactly what I felt like.
Yeah. What was the reception like, or what has been the reception like so far?
It's been good. I feel like a lot of people were surprised. Like, although I feel like I have people who support me genuinely, like know I can rap. Sometimes it's easy to kind of get like boxed in a lane, like, cause most times I do kind of rap hard and I'm popping like I'm popping shit. But I showed a more vulnerable side to myself. So the girlies been loving it. People been sharing like their real personal stories of heartbreak and how I'm helping them get through and reminding them of who they are. So yeah.
I'm the same way because I when your manager sent it to me to listen to, and I listened to it, I put it in the car. I was like working. I'm like, oh, this hard. Like
Oh,
she talking her
thank
shit. Like I
you.
liked it. So no, it was dope. And
Thank
so
you.
like, does that like kind of give you like more motivation and drive? Like when you get such high
Yeah.
praise from consumers and people that listen to your projects and all of that. Does
Yeah,
it?
especially people who I don't know. Like, you don't even know. Like, I'm really a crybaby. Like, I'm trying not to cry. You were talking about like the fact that you're this detailed with the questions. They're so spot on. You give me the opportunity to really explain, you know, the motivation behind something that's really mean a lot to me. Yeah, but it feels good.
So what is like? Do you have like any like plans for like videos, music videos, as far as like the different project
Yes,
goes?
yeah. So, right back will actually be the first one that we shoot a video for, and I'm excited, y'all. Like, no funny. I'm so detailed. Down to like getting a male lead that looks almost exactly like my ex. So it's really gonna be. I can't wait. Just stay tuned, y'all.
Is it like triggering, like to do something like that? Because it's kind of like you like reliving everything that you went through.
I feel like I wouldn't necessarily know till we're on set, but like at this time, like thinking about it and preparing for it, I really have no more like emotion attached to that. Like I don't feel like I don't cry or like a cry necessarily about trigger wise. You know what I'm saying? The tears that I have now is mostly like joy, feeling like I took my power back. You know, being proud of that.
What was the collaboration process like for your project? Like as far as like producers and I say you said you had your same engineer from when you started off, but
Yeah.
like
I actually collaborated with multiple producers. So I collaborated with KB the General. That's my main studio, the one who I've known since I was like 18, 19. And then also a gentleman named Big Tizzy Mix Studios. Um, yeah, and it was fun. Like they really pushed me. I feel like even with my manager, like the process of saying like, "Hey, what you think about this song?" Her giving me my feedback. It was a little frustrated too. This is the first time I ever doubted myself. Like, dang, I went back to the drawing board. I had to take this out. One song I didn't want to put a hook to it, but then both of my engineers, because I recorded originally with KB, but the final result was a complete different recording with Tizzy. But they both said the same exact thing. Shay, you need a hook. And I was like, fuck, I told you I was tired. I was ready to be done with it. But when I put the hook on it, that's actually for better things. So yeah, shout out to KB and Tizzy for telling me to put a hook on it. Cause yeah, a lot of people say that's their favorite.
what's a what's a like a typical studio session for you like?
Smoking, laughing. I really run through my stuff. So this is usually what I do. I go in, roll me a blunt, I lay my stuff down almost instantly. Like I can run through my verse, I can run through my highlights. At this point, I can run through my ad libs. Um, I do a lot of most of my studio sessions are like a lot of running back. Like let me hit it, take this out, relay something else, or leave it as is. And I always edit during my. I try to get most of what I want my song to be in one session. Like so, most times since I record so fast, I can start editing. I like to be part of that process, mixing and mastering and all of that.
How open are you? I know you talked about it a little bit earlier, but like how touching a little bit more on it. How open are you to like feedback from like people that you are in the studio with if they say, oh, maybe you should do it like this, or I like this, or something like that.
Yeah, again, I'm open to that. Um it really depends like on a person, I guess. Like if I feel like I'm in there with someone who may not be musically inclined, I'll kind of just brush it off and won't consider. But for the most part, I'm open to anything because I feel like sometimes some of your greatest or most memorable parts of a song come from something like that you didn't expect. So yeah.
Were there any songs that you did like that you recorded for the project that you were like, maybe I don't want to put that on there, and that you probably got like saved for another time or something like that?
So you mean something that's not on there?
Yeah.
No. I knew it was gonna be as is. I was very particular. Like I found the beats, I titled them before I even wrote to them, and then that was that. Like I kind of knew that part like that.
Was there a reason there was only 4 songs?
Just because I wanted to, I feel like my very first album was so lengthy, and because unfortunately sometimes being like a new artist, people really don't care for you to hear you that much. Like you, I'm trying to consider some of the advice was given to me. Sometimes less is best, and I can give like 16 bars, so nobody want to hear a 12 song album, and the songs most times this day and age with the industry, the hooks is what really trap people in. I really be giving bars because I'm telling stories, but people don't want to hear that all the time. So.
So I saw you, perform on the floaters.
Okay.
What was it? How was that? How did you come about getting on that? Yeah, and
Yeah,
what was
shout
that
out to
like?
Florida. Shout out to Nara. Yeah, y'all. I like you, Zach. You going big
I
places. I
appreciate
like
it.
this. You're
Thank you.
welcome. That was that was lit. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like once I went on floaters, I really went up. Like it's something about them that's so authentic that it just naturally gravitate like people to view. But it's like after I did them, my views went up. Like I just like post usually average to me probably like 700 to 1,000 views. After them, like 9,000, 10,000, 12,000. So yeah.
I was gonna say like what? How does being on a platform like that? How did it help your growth as an artist?
It gave me a like an extra boost of confidence. Like, yeah, I want. Oh, you see that? That's my first time ever having 34K. You hear me? Yeah, I love that. Big Shai Rose, yes, yeah.
What have you like? Obviously, you performed on that, but like, what is it like performing like on stage in front of people?
I feel like I'm a natural. The only time I may ever struggle is if I'm not like, disciplined. Cause I'm still like in this 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like I'm human. I'm still like a regular girl, so I still like the chief, But once you transition to that, art, full artist development, some things that could affect your performance, you may want to cut back on. I do, so I'm still struggling with that. So the only time that I would ever feel like, if there's a question in my performance, if I like overdid or smoke or drink, but for the most part, I'm a natural. I'm a killer every time. Like I love the stage.
Do you ever get like nervous?
I be saying I'm nervous, but it's like soon as the mic get in my hand, they play the beat, that shit is gone. Yeah.
Do you like having a lot of people on stage with you, or are you more solo?
No, I'm more solo, but I did have a concert, and that was my first time actually having dancers, and I felt like don't play with me because it was giving Beyonce. It looked good. It
I was
really
about to
looked
say,
good.
yeah.
Yes.
So like, did they have to like learn like a whole routine as far as like the
They
dancing?
created the routine. Yeah, they created the routine. Shout out to Vicky and Bakara.
And they matched it to like your music that you were
Yeah,
performing.
they made the choreography tailored to my songs.
So
Yeah.
what was that like? Having that experience.
It was like, oh, y'all came up with that for my song. It was like they was like, ooh, walking them like a dog. I was like, yeah. They had me look like they had me doing like little 2 counts or 3 counts. You know how that be like the person who's performing. You don't necessarily do every dance move.
Yeah.
You just do like key little boop bops. They had me doing that. I don't do that, so it was fun.
Who are some of like the local artists or just artists in general that you like hope to like collaborate with?
No Savage! No Savage! Look, welcome home, No Savage. Yeah, they let a real one home. He talking about some 4 bands for a collab though. Come on, No Savage. You gotta listen to my shit. It's gonna be mutually beneficial. You hear me? Yeah.
Is it you the only one, or is it any other artists?
I don't really fuck with people, and I don't mean to say it like that. I don't really fuck with too many people in the city, but I do have upcoming collaborations with Malaysian Doll. Like that's my good friend. I love her. She's really lit. Um, but no, I don't really. No.
What's your favorite song to perform?
Lonnie.
Why?
I feel like once I started back, um, like after I separated from my last situation and started pursuing music again, Lonnie was one of the first songs that I dropped. It was like one of my first singles that I dropped since popping back out. And it just went crazy. Like people loved it. I was on U Street walking up to random people performing it, had random people dancing with me. Um, yeah, it's and it cranked.
What's some of the like pros and cons of being an artist in general? Like how does it like how's your life changed basically since you started doing music?
Um, I gotta I don't even know what can I not say. What can I not say? Cause I'm really off the hook.
You can say anything. You're
Okay.
good.
Look, every other day I be like, I'm this close to selling pussy. Because I'm not rich yet, y'all. I'm really a 9 to 5 worker. I work hard. I'm gonna get it by any means. I got 4 sons. You know what I'm saying? I'm a single mother of 4 kids. So I be, you know what I'm saying? This shit costs. We chasing, pursuing. Me and my manager, we put everything out of pocket. So that would be, yeah. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. So I also like kind of like a follow up. Does it ever get like sometimes a point where you just kind of like question like do I really want to like
Fuck
keep
no.
doing this?
I'm never giving up again. The only thing that ever stopped me from putting my foot on these hoes' necks was having to sit back and tend to my kids. But that's not, I know I'm not having any more kids right now. So
Do you feel like in a way you could have been maybe further than where
hell
you are?
yeah, I say it all the time. 2021, I actually 2020 decided to give up my job, and I said I don't want to work full time anymore. I want to pursue music. Um, and I actually had went to go move back with my dad because he was going to allow me to stay there, get my stack some bread because I was moving to Atlanta. But guess what happened? Got pregnant with my third born son. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Mm-mm.
So you were about to move to Atlanta, or
Yeah, but I'm saying like motherhood, I feel like is what prevented me from it further because I not gotten pregnant with my son, I would have relocated. Atlanta is lit. I have a outgoing personality. I would have been bumped into the right person, but yeah.
is that like the goal? You eventually want to move to Atlanta or somewhere
Atlanta
new?
or Houston, for sure.
Why like those two?
Because I feel like they're the right cities. It's live, a lot of celebrities in and out. You know what I'm saying? The people go up, they play, they show love at the club.
What's like your interactions been with like your fans?
Um, it's been good. I feel like this is the most engagement that I've ever gotten. Also because I've been taking the advice of my manager for me to initiate engaging more with my fans, like post polls on my posts and raffles and things like that to that nature, just to kind of be present with them even when I'm not necessarily dropping.
Do you have like people come up to you like when you're in the streets?
Yeah, it's oh my gosh, like I said, after floaters, that was crazy. Like I'm not lying. You see my nails. Shout out to my nail tech, Joe. Perfect nails, Joe. X for Joe. But yeah, I was real live in the nail salon. I can't tell you how many times, and I can hear the floaters performance. You don't know nail, bitch, and I turn around like, what the fuck? And then they like, oh, this you, yeah. So I don't know. I like it. It's been cool.
I was about to ask like, so what does that like do for you personally? Like when you
It makes me
see
feel
that?
like I'm almost there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it always starts with people recognizing you for what you do, what you love. So once people start recognizing you for that shit, that means you're doing something right. Yeah.
What's like the hardest part about being vulnerable, like in your music?
I wouldn't necessarily cry, cause I really don't like crying, but I'm a crier if that makes sense. Um, and also like when you're trying to tell your story, but you considering other people's feelings. So I have a song called MIB, right? It's short. It's short for Make It Back. Um, I sat on that song for 2 years. I recorded it in 2022, and I didn't drop it until 2024. Why? Because considering other people's feelings. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you're trying to be vulnerable and walk in your truth and tell your truth, but your truth includes other people, if you're trying to consider them, it can kind of hold you back. And it kind of helped me because I sat on it for 2 years, even though I been felt like it was a great song. Some people who heard it, exclusively told me like this may be the one you should drop it. But yeah, so
What's what's like your inner circle like?
small, but very supportive, very loyal, reliable. Um, Yeah, they always come through, and it's literally like one hand.
Most people like most like artists that I like talk to, they pretty much say the same thing. Why do you feel like, or why do you personally feel comfortable with having like a tight knit, small inner circle?
I would say it's like that by default for me. Like I would like to have more friends, but people just weird. You know what I'm saying? So I most times always find myself like walking alone type shit because I'm still growing. I'm not perfect. I have a low tolerance for nonsense. I I'm a woman now, so I try not to fight, but I will fight. So yeah, so you know what I'm saying. I don't like putting myself in situations where it's like taking me out of character, or you know what I'm saying, a place where I'm trying to move past myself.
How does your family and close friends and everything? How do they like support and feel about your career?
They support. They come through when I do like showcases and stuff. My family be deep. It be more family than they do strangers. So yeah.
How's you talked about your dad being a big rap fan? Like how has he felt about
He
you?
brag on me to all his coworkers. Yeah, every time I drop something, he subscribed to my I can drop something sometimes, and like soon as it dropped, he called me like, "Yeah, I see you just dropped that. I'm at the top end." Like, I like that's alright. And then next time I see him, he cut my son's hair or something. He telling me about how his coworkers was like, "Yeah, you baby girl got it."
How does that make you feel?
Made me feel good. Like the goal is to get on, sustain. You know what I'm saying? And not only maintain but sustain. You know what I'm saying? And double that shit. Whatever I get from chasing music and then make sure pops and them good. Like I don't want my father to work till he's like 65 for retirement. That shit crazy.
How do you? Well, how are you with people who like who would be like close and around you, but like low key envious and jealous of like you and what you got going on? How are you with like handling people like that?
I feel like I'm always able to sniff them out fast. Cause my manager's actually my cousin. If y'all didn't know that, my blood cousin. Um, but I always peep that shit right away. Like I said, I'm no nonsense. I address it head on, or I just fall back. Most times, like addressing it, that could lead to altercation. So this day and age, people been telling me I'm kind of messed up because I won't say nothing. I just won't ever talk to you again. So once I feel anything off or is it like it's disconcerting to me, I just cut it off.
Have you had like instances where like people may have like kind of like doubted you at first, and now they see that you got motion and traction now, and they trying to like
Yeah,
spin
and
the
some of them
block?
still act like they my friend too, but won't post my shit. Yeah, but it's a lot of people in the city. Like I don't knock anybody. I feel like if you love it, I like it. If you like it, I love it. However that shit go. But it's a lot of people out here who's rapping that can't rap. So for someone who says they're your friend, you know what I'm saying, they have a platform to support you rapping and they don't, you know what I'm saying, or they minimize it in comparison to the shit rappers that they repost and support. You kind of side eye like, damn, shorty, why you really not fucking with me? But it is what it is.
Who's your who's your goat male rapper and female rapper, or just artists in general?
Local industry.
Like all.
Papoose! What's up, Pap? Papoose. And I'm not saying this because this shit is trending. Anybody who knows me, my manager right there, she could tell you. I love Pap. Nobody fucking with him. Lyrical goat. I say that shit all the time. He's a lyrical fucking goat. Um, KQ 202. He's actually someone who helped mold me in the studio as far as pushing out of my comfort zone with ad libbing and just trying different stuff. He's also a lyrical guru. Um, Female, Nicki. I gotta get Nicki. That's mother. Yes, don't ever play with Nicki Minaj. I'm not a barb per se because I don't do all that extra pink and all of that. But yes, that's mother. Yeah, Tory Lanez. Free Tory. Free Durkee. Yo, look, don't get me started. Yes, yes. Yeah. And No Savage. I love No Savage. I'm hoping that he come home and he really pop his shit and, you know what I'm saying, stay focused, don't get caught up. Because I feel like he could have been already what he's supposed to be.
Do you feel like you, well, as far as like being an artist, do you not like want to like put yourself into like a genre box? Like, do you feel like you more R&B or like rap, or you feel like you just an artist in
I
general?
feel like I'm an artist. I that's why I'm grateful that I can write so well because it gives me the ability to not be boxed in. But overall, like I can go in any direction. You know how I feel like Drake, he switched. You just never know what he gonna do, but whatever he do, he does it well. So I feel like as long as it's done well, people gonna fuck with me. So yeah.
Kind of off topic, you brought up Drake. What you whose side you on in that
Hey,
Drake
look,
Kendrick
y'all really be
thing?
trying to look. Y'all messy. I ain't gonna lie. Kendrick came, you know what I'm saying? He came out popping shit, but I'm a Drake fan. I ain't gonna hop on no bandwagon. Like, I've been a Drake fan for as long as I can remember. He held me down. He's always consistent. Anytime he drop, I'm never disappointed. So, and I also feel like, despite what people saying, I feel like he held his weight. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
for sure. No, I'm with you on that one.
thank
So, what do you have like? Well, first of all, 2024 coming to an end. How do you want to end
you. Y'all, hold on.
2024?
Sorry, Zach.
Go ahead.
My glasses not crooked out because these lashes so fucking long.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, my manager always trying to get me to take my glasses off, but I can't see. Y'all say this girl's crazy. I'm
Nah,
crazy.
you good. You good.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you ask your question again?
Like with 2024 coming to a close, how do you want to end 2024?
So we were supposed to be on a break and not doing anything musically. We were supposed to be decompressing, preparing for, our 2025 takeover. But I want to close basically just reminding people that I'm not letting up. I just posted on my Instagram the other day, reiterating January 2024. I came back out hard as fuck with my music shit. January 2025, I'm taking it to a whole nother level. So that's just what I want people to know. And it still keeps streaming at From Forever to Fuck You on all digital platforms, okay? Thank you.
Are you planning on like any tours or any live shows like with the release of your EP?
Yes, I don't necessarily know if my tour is gonna be catered around the EP, but of course I'll perform some of the songs from there. But I have a lot of songs that I got a lot of songs. Um, but yeah, we are planning a mini tour for the summertime. So it's supposed to be like Virginia Beach, New York, Philly, Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Just making our little way.
Are you do you plan on like staying like independent, or do you want to eventually like get signed to a label?
My goal is to be independent. My ultimate goal musically is to have my own record label and publishing company. So I'm actually studying, you know what I'm saying, the background of that, how to get that, up and going and functional. So yeah.
Have you always like kind of felt that way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it from like kind of seeing like other artists
Exactly.
go
Yeah,
through?
like and then also because it's my passion. Like I don't necessarily want to be on the forefront. A lot of people think I want to rap forever. I met Nia when I was in the 6th or 7th grade. And he basically, you know what I'm saying, told me the money is in the writing. And he's as everybody knows, he's a phenomenal writer. So I always took heed to that. So it was always in the back of my brain, like, yeah, you can make a living off of being the artist, but I really want to make a living off of writing because writing is my passion.
So kind of like looking back, what like advice would you give to your 19-year-old self?
Don't move so fast. Um, Actually, take time to get to know myself before I give myself completely to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like I got married young and everything, so yes, to actually give myself time to be who I want to be, because I had a lot of goals and stuff, even outside of music that I kind of put on the back burner because life started happening. But yeah.
Are there any like misconceptions about you out there that you feel like people be running with?
Not necessarily. It's like a few little things that may float around. Like I get different things. I get mixed misconceptions. Some people think I'm like mean and hard to approach. Other people think I'm overly sweet and joyful and a sucker, but I'm not. Um, I have a high sex appeal, and I'm kind of free in many ways with my sexuality. So you may have some people who may think that I'm easy, but then when they find out you know what I'm saying, I'm really hard to get. I flirt, but I'm really hard to get. So yeah, and a lot of people don't know that I'm really a relationship girl because I am, pretty and man, you know what I'm saying? It's not hard for anybody to get anybody, but you know what I'm saying? I can easily talk to whomever I want, but I'm really a one man kind of woman, and a lot of people don't believe that. A lot of niggas don't believe that. They be
So
surprised.
so like when it's all said and done, how do you want people to remember Shai Rose and her music?
I want them to remember me for being always raw. Anything I say is real. You know what I'm saying? I always stand on anything that I put into my songs. I did it. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it again. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have any regrets. So
Lastly, is there anything that you want to say like to all your fans, people that have been rocking with you all this time?
yes, I want y'all to know that we got much, 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 much coming y'all way. Y'all stick with me. 2025, we going fucking live. Keep streaming and running up them views on From Forever to Fuck You. Y'all not playing, y'all, okay? Hey.
All right, Shai Rose, I
Okay.
appreciate you coming
Thank
through.
you, Zach. It was a
Absolutely.
pleasure. Thank you.